Hello, people that I know it's very different with the lighting and everything, but I just want to talk about, as I said before, but the schools come back, the secondary schools, as you know, I'm in my last year of secondary school, leaving sort of year. Um, just to say, it's, school is stressful enough in the modern age, especially when you have what I have to deal with. You have to try and deal with, local communities, and then you have other things bearing down on you. And that's stressful. That is really, really stressful. And then at school on top of it, that's even stressful, even more. But the good thing about it, and I would say straight, at least did you don't get homework. And my LCA is leaving sort of applied. You basically do the most of the work in school. And I'm saying this straight to people. This here, secondary school students should have to wear masks in classrooms and the corridors. And they already want us to wear it in the buses, and that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Okay, that's fair enough. But it's just going to be the biggest rigmarole ever I've seen. Because you be told every time you go into a class, you probably have to do wing or wosy, to try and get around the seats where you have to sit. You won't learn anything. I won't learn anything, and that's as simple as that. That's it to know of the Minister of Education. But it's just pointless. You might as well send it like they should just send it on the internet. If it gets too much for me, and I go in for the first day, and if it's too much for me, I obviously will send off a letter to the Minister of Education to give it back. And it will cause a big incident over it. But it will be true because it's very worthless if you have to stand around for an hour trying to figure out should I be you have to sit here, you have to sit there, you can't go there, you can't go here, don't go there, don't go this way, don't go that way, go this way, out that way, this way, that way, out of way. It's going to be a lot more stress. You won't learn anything. It'll be more stressful. You'll be more fearful of getting something or catching something because you'll be that fearful. Even if there's only 100 people, you'll be fearing. The fear of it at the moment in time around the country is unbelievable. Um, Especially with young people, a lot more young people getting it now than it ever was. But again, it's just down to it's just be too much stress, and it's too much stress for for me. It'd be too much stressful, and you'd be better off just getting it on the Teams app or the thing. There's no need to go into the school, to be honest with you, because it's not much. You know, you can lose it. In my year, you have to go into school. It does count for your. Lost lighting. Oh, um, so yeah, it does count. So yeah, obviously we'll lose some metalwork and woodwork, but to be honest with you, at the end of the day, and as I keep saying, as I said many times before, I put my mental health and my physical and mental well being in school. I put that first before any lessons or any learning. And at the end of the day, it's only a piece of paper. The leaving cert. I couldn't really care much for it. I might say straight. If I get a good enough mark, I'm happy enough. If I don't get a good enough mark, then you know, fair enough. At the end of the day, if I do decent, I'm happy enough. And I'm happy as long as I'm happy and healthy. Then at the end of the day, that's all that matters to me. And I'm sure no Faye would agree with that. I hope she would anyway. But a piece of paper doesn't. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean like you should put your life at risk if this like if the virus is still going. And obviously having a good lot of people in the school, even in the classroom. There's not enough teachers. Yeah, there's not enough teachers straight away, and they're not going to hire any more caretakers. As far as I'm aware of, I have no intention of getting extra teachers in my school. I have no intention of getting extra caretakers, which is needed. But apparently there's no funding. The government, they might just say there's funding for this and funding for that, but there's no, at the end of the day, there's nothing for them because they won't pay them. They won't pay them. And half the teachers in Australia, New Zealand, and everywhere else. It's just a great country we live in. But yeah, that's just putting it straight to people. And I would say to people, if you have a child in secondary school, primary schools would be probably a bit more safer. To be honest, I might just say straight, but secondary schools might be a bit dangerous. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not going to put myself at risk. I'm not going to stress myself out. So we'll go on the first day. And if they're going to make us well in classrooms and everything like that, then I'm stay at home and I do the work at home. Simple as that. As simple as that. And put it straight. If they have any problem with the Department of Education, then they can take it up with the World Health Organization or something like that if they want to. If they want to cause an international incident over this. But at the end of the day, it's not that I would wear a mask on the bus. I have no problem with that. But it's the problem with having to dilly dally. Like you go into a shop now, you're told where to stand. You have to go here. You have to go there. You can't stand here. You can't go down that way. You have to go this way. You have to go around the way. It'd be that kind of shite that you have to listen to in the school. And you wouldn't learn anything. Like honest to God, like I would depend on teachers to come up to me if I'm in Metawork, take for example, I depend on the person that's dyslexic and has a bit of autism. I depend on the Metawork or woodwork teacher to show me, you do this, you put it this way, because they have to show me. They have to show me piece by piece on how to do it. Like, say if I was making a phone cover out of wood, let's just say for example, and take for example, you show me, you cut down here, you spray paint this end, you show me in small pieces on what to do. And I'd be like, fair enough, because it's small bits of information that I know what I'm doing, instead of just saying, one explanation, because I need to be, it needs to be explained 100 times to me to find out the answer, to find out how to do it. And you won't have the teacher have to stand a half a year away from you. That's not going to work for me, and you might just stay in your bed. I have no intention of staying in my bed, God knows I have no intention of that. If they're not going to send the work home to me, then they'll be out to do a day's work. I have no intention of sitting at home doing nothing. So it's either they're going to send the work home, or I find something to do. But yeah, and again, with work experience, you have work experience too. I was on Calf and County Cold. Hopefully I might go ahead. Should be fun. I probably have to go for a train. I'm not even going to talk about that because I bust out laughing. So yeah, I'm not going to accept it. Simple as that. I'm not going to accept it. If it's like this, if they're going to force you to wear masks in the classroom, and on the corridor side, I'm blind again. It's Leo. I'm telling you, it's Leo. Leo is behind me and trying to get an end to me. Like, you never know. There could be somebody watching me from the shadows. Hopefully it's I'm only joking. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I'm not going to. I might just say straight. There's no point in stressing yourself out. There's enough stress and anxiety around communities enough. Without going into school and you stress yourself. School stress, like for me when I was in first year, now we're going back to the days, it was stressful enough. It was stressful because it was hard to make friends, it was hard to get to know people, it was hard to say hello to people. Difficult, very, very difficult. You feel like you're the odd one out when you have dyslexia and autism. You see everybody else mixing in straight away, and you stand there in the corner and you don't know what to do. But that's that's life. But at the end of the day, it's not much point in knowing yourself. Because it's only going to put you in an early grave, and that's as simple as that. And more times than ever, really now, the more people are dying of heart attacks and strokes and suicide than probably of the coronavirus. And because people are worried they're sick, like older people are worried sick, they're afraid of their lives, to go anywhere. And that's because the media have them absolutely mortified to go out. But at the same time, there's a virus, but to have people just absolutely scared to walk anywhere. But it's just that's just my opinion. I'm not going to go to school if it's too much hassle. Simple as that. I go in for the first day. If I'm not happy with what's happened, I will report on what's happening. And what the things are, whatever they put in place. Because I don't mind, scrubbing my hands if we had to go into class. But having to stay 1 meter distance away from everybody, and having to talk to teachers and everything, it's going to be just the biggest shite ever, you see. That's putting it straight. But anyway, thank you for watching, take care everybody, and bye.